Today we are going to discuss about potential due to a system of charges. And before going to discuss about the potential due to a system of charges, we will see what we discussed in last class. See, you follow the videos, all the videos, then you will get the clarity about the concept. So that we are discussing again in last class what I discussed, the formulas and the concept, brief discussion about that concept. So we know the potential, electric potential. That electric potential V is equals to work done by the charge, test charge, and the units of the potential, electric potential is volt. We measure in volts or joule per coulomb, and it is the scalar quantity and the dimensional formula. Also we know that the dimensional formula of the potential m L power 2 T power minus 3 A power minus 1 is the dimensional formula of the potential, and it is a scalar quantity. It has no direction, has only the magnitude, so it is a scalar. And potential due to a point charge is V equals to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q by R is the potential due to a point charge. Then potential due to a dipole. So in this expression we know potential is inversely proportional to the distance. Then potential due to a dipole, electric potential due to a dipole, V is equals to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught P cos theta divided by R square for the sharp dipole. Potential due to a dipole, in the dipole it is a short dipole, then 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught P cos theta by R square. And then V is inversely proportional to the square of the distance. Potential due to a point charge is V is inversely proportional to the distance, and potential due to a dipole is inversely proportional to the square of the distance. And if you write the vector form of the potential due to a dipole, V equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught P dot R bar divided by R cube. This is the vector form. Vector form of the potential due to a dipole. Here P bar dot R bar, we write that P R cos theta divided by R cube. Then R cancel. Then we get the same expression. So vector form of the potential due to a dipole is 1 by vector form potential due to a dipole is 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught P dot R divided by R cube. So we completed potential due to a dipole. In that special case is also electric potential due to a dipole on the axial line. On the axial line is that V equals to plus or minus 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught P cos theta by R square. Potential due to a dipole on the equatorial line is 0 because the theta value is 90 degree, then potential is 0. That we discussed in last class. And the next one is potential due to a system of charges. Electric potential electric potential due to a system of charges. Electric potential due to a system of charges. So we know that if one charge, then it exists one potential. If two charges, two potentials. If three charges, three potentials. If n charges, n potentials will exist. So here we know the potential. We want to know the potential due to a system of charges. So to get the potential due to a system of charges, again you consider the source of charge at point P and we consider the number of charges. So here the charge is Q1, Q2, then Q3, Q4, then Q5 like that, and then Qn, n number of charges. We consider here the Qn. Here the charge is Q5. So due to the number of charges, what will be the potential? That we want to find it. And the distance from point P to, here we want to find the electric potential at point P due to the system of charges. Here the charges are Q1, Q2, Q3, Q4, Q5 and so on Qn. N number of charges. Due to n number of charges, what is the potential at point P? So from point P to Q1, the distance is R1, and from point P to Q2, the distance is R2, and P to Q3, the distance is R3, and P to Q4, the distance is R4, and P to Q5, the distance is R5, and from P to Qn, the distance is that Rn. So now we take the potential due to charge Q1 at point P. The potential due to charge Q1 at P. So to get that, we consider n number of charges. We may describe that. Consider the charges Q1, Q2, Q3, Q4, Q5 and so on Qn with the charges. Let the distance R1, R2, R3, R4, R5 and so on Rn, the distances from point P to the charges. The potential due to a charge Q1 at P is V1. The V1 is equals to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q1 divided by the distance is R1. This is the potential due to charge Q1. Then potential due to charge Q2. Potential due to charge Q2 at P is V2 equal to 1 by 4 by epsilon naught Q2 by R. Q2 by R. And similarly, the potential due to a charge Q1 at point P. So similarly, at point the potential due to charge Qn at P. So then what will be the potential due to charge Qn at P is Vn. Vn is equals to 1 by 4 by epsilon naught Qn by R. Okay, these are the potential due to the charges. We want the potential, net potential at point P due to these charges. So to get that, the potential due to the charges at point P, we use that net potential, and we know that potential is a scalar, and we cannot add it means that we cannot use vector form to add the potentials because it is the scalar. Then we can use algebraic sum of the potentials by using the superposition principle. So by the superposition principle, by using principle of superposition, that is that the potential at the point P is equals to the potential due to the individual charges. Okay, so the potential at the point P is V, the net potential or the total potential V is equals to the potential due to the individual charges, that is Q1. So potential at the P due to charge Q1 is V1, then V1 plus potential due to charge Q2 is V2 plus potential due to the charge Q3 is V3 plus and so on. Potential due to the charge Qn is Vn. So now we know V1 potential due to the charge Q1 is 1 by 4 by epsilon naught Q1 by R1. Potential due to the charge Q2 is 1 by 4 by epsilon naught Q2 by R2. Potential due to the charge Q3 is V3 equals to 1 by 4 by epsilon naught Q3 by R3. Potential due to the charge Qn is 1 by 4 by epsilon naught Qn by Rn. We can substitute the V1, V2, V3, then it equal to 1 by 4 by epsilon naught is equals to 1 by 4 by epsilon naught Q1 by R1 plus 1 by 4 by epsilon naught Q2 by R2 plus and so on 1 by 4 by epsilon naught Qn by Rn. So 1 by 4 by epsilon naught Q1 by R1 plus 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught q2 by r2 plus and so on 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught qn by rn. Then here we have the common term is 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught is of q1 by r1 plus q2 by r2 plus and so on qn by rn. Okay, this is the potential due to a system of charges is V. So V is equals to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught q1 by r1 plus q2 by r2 plus and so on qn by rn. This is the potential. And this we will write that general form of the potential, that V equals to general form of the potential due to a system of charges, then V equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught sigma I is equals to 1 to n of qi divided by r. So there I values from 1 to n, and here the sigma indication summation. So when you take I is equals to 1, then 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught q1 by r1 again sigmas plus 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught q2 by r2 and so on. If you take I values n, then 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught qn by r. This is the general form of the potential due to a system of charges. 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught I equals to 1 to n qi by ri. Okay, and from this we can give some important points regarding the potential due to the system of charges. The first one is potential for the spherical shell. We know that electric field inside the spherical shell. The first one is that a spherical shell. In spherical shell, we know electric field for the spherical shell inside the shell, outside the shell, and on the shell. So the electric field on the surface of the spherical shell, we write that E is equals to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught q by r square, that is electric field due to the spherical shell on the surface. And whereas the potential V is equals to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught q by, we are using the notation small q, then 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught q by r. So here r is greater than the radius of the spherical shell. So the potential for the spherical shell is 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught q by r. And this is the on the surface of the spherical shell. And the second one is that inside the spherical shell. So on the surface of the spherical shell we get that q by r, and then in the case is r equals to r, and here we write that potential is the outside of the spherical shell, and inside the spherical shell. inside the spherical shell, and for that electric field is 0. The electric field inside the spherical shell is 0, whereas the potential for the spherical shell, that is inside the spherical shell, which is equals to the, mean that there the potential will be constant, then the potential is equals to the 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught q by r. Q by r. So here this r is equal to the distance and radius of cell. It means that which is equal to on the surface of the spherical shell. And potential for the inside the spherical shell is V equals to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught q by r. And one more point, the third point is that if you have to calculate the potential due to continuous charge distribution of volume density of the body is rho. So here I am using the symbol for volume charge density is rho. We want to find that potential due to continuous charge distribution of volume density rho, and to get that we will divide into large number of small volume elements of charge distribution. That is, we know that volume charge density is charge per unit volume. So rho is equals to Q divided by V, charge per unit volume. We know that types of charge distribution, that linear charge distribution, that is the linear charge density, surface charge density and volume charge density. Linear charge density is charge per unit length, surface charge density is the charge per unit area, and volume charge density is the charge per unit value. So to calculate the potential for the continuous charge distribution of volume density, what we do, we will divide it to large number of small volume elements. Each volume is delta V, small volume is delta V. So delta, we write the charge is rho into delta V. So here this rho into delta V represents that the charge of each volume element, and to get that we will do the integration. We add all the elements, then we get the total volume charge density, and we will get the potential. So potential for the charge distribution we will calculate by doing the integration. These are the 3 points regarding the potential, that is potential outside of the spherical shell, inside the spherical shell, and when we want to calculate the continuous charge distribution in terms of volume density. Okay, so this is about the potential due to a system of charges. So potential due to a system of charges, we know the diagram. By seeing the diagram we can calculate the potential. Okay, and the next concept is about the equipotential surface. Equipotential surface, that we will see next.